Good morning and welcome to the Morning Breath live stream where we start our day with coherence. My name is Jeremy Tennell. I'm your host, systems designer, and coherence coach. And this is week 13, day 61 of our 14-week journey, the path of personal transformation. I hope everybody had a great holiday weekend for those living here in the States. And I did. Very restful. I got outside. I got to spend a little bit of time with some friends, did a little bit of gardening. It was very positive. And today is going to be a big day because all the seedlings that I've been working on for the past couple of months are going in the ground. So the garden is prepared and ready to go. We're at a turning point. This being week 13, we are moving towards the end of this 14-week path. I'm currently preparing a new journey for us to be taking. I don't know what the time frame of that journey is going to be, or exactly what the theme is going to be, but it is always going to be around the concepts of coherence practices. Because as you'll see today with our discussion, it's extraordinarily important that we as human beings begin to master certain aspects of ourselves so that we may move into a future in which things that wish to master us don't get that opportunity. So this week we begin looking outward. For 12 weeks, we focused on the inner world. Regulation, ego, identity, coherence, and reflection. All themes of personal transformation. But none of us exist in isolation. We exist inside systems, inside culture, inside institutions. And today, we begin with the pillars of society. Institutions are the structures that shape civilization. Education, government, religion, healthcare, finance, and media, scientific paradigm, and the law. At their best, institutions create trust and stability, a continuity of cultural norms. But when institutions become weak, fragmented, or captured by power, something else rises to take their place. And increasingly, that role is being filled by corporations in our society. Not simply selling products, but shaping culture itself. One of the things I've become increasingly aware of over the years is how much of modern life is shaped by systems most people rarely stop to examine. What we value, the things we fear, what we consume, chase, and strive for, how we define success. So much of it is socially conditioned. For a long time, I think I underestimated how deeply media, marketing, and for-profit influence shape collective identity. Not just social behavior, collective identity itself. Because when institutions weaken and community falters, when mistrust deepens and spiritual grounding becomes shallow, when education becomes transactional and people feel disconnected and uncertain, for-profit corporations move into the vacuum. Not necessarily because they're evil, but because systems expand where space existed. And in for-profit systems, the rewards, constant growth, shareholder gains, attention capture, and market dominance. Corporations become the giants among us, not merely influencing society, but feeding on it. Institutions are pillars of society. They shape collective values and behavior, belief, and social stability. But every institution is shaped by incentives and collective narrative. That matters because incentives eventually influence behavior, and cultural narratives keep people moving forward. Corporations operate within a system that fundamentally rewards expansion. One moment. Oh, itchy. We've got cottonwood blooming. Maybe there. Whew. Corporations operate within a system that fundamentally reward expansion, more growth, greater engagement, mega consumption, deeper dependency, and wider market share. Again, that does not make corporations bad, but it does mean we must honestly examine the systems driving them because they end up driving us. When profit becomes the dominant organizing principle of society, human beings themselves slowly become commodities. Attention becomes monetized and emotional engagement becomes profitized. Fear becomes marketed and identity is stamped. Eventually, people stop asking, what is healthy for humanity? And they begin asking, what scales? This is one of the reasons discernment matters so much right now. Because modern influence does not primarily operate through force. It operates through narrative, messaging, and advertising. It's moving through algorithms and fancy images that entertain us. These things create structures that build convenience, social pressure, and digital immersion. The most powerful systems are often the ones people no longer recognize as systems at all. But just the way life is these days. And the more disconnected people become from themselves, the easier they are shaped externally. I'll say that again. And the more people become disconnected from themselves, the easier they are shaped externally. This is why coherence matters, because regulated people are harder to manipulate. A person capable of self-reflection pauses before reacting. A person capable of discernment can sit with complexity without collapsing into tribal thinking or emotional capture. And that capacity is becoming increasingly important. Dare I say, it's the superpower of the future selves. But it requires the lock-in engagement of our present selves. From a systems perspective, institutions distribute social power. But when trust in institution collapses, power does not disappear, it relocates. And in modern society, much of that power has shifted towards massive corporate ecosystems that now influence culture and identity, politics and attention, relationships and perception itself. And we are entering a period of history where corporations are no longer simply producing products. They are producing ecosystems, digital environments, psychological conditioning, and informational milieus. Increasingly, artificial intelligence will accelerate that influence exponentially, not just through automation, but through personalized persuasion and behavior prediction, synthetic relationships, and algorithmic shaping of reality itself. Which means the future challenge is not merely technological, it is deeply human. Can human beings remain conscious inside systems that Can human beings remain conscious inside systems designed to continuously shape their perception and consciousness? Culturally, many people sense that something is shifting. People are overwhelmed, distracted, polarized. They're emotionally exhausted, and often they blame one another without examining the systems amplifying the behavior around them. Because outrage is profitable and fear gets gains. Addiction is commodified. Constant stimulation is a money-spinning operation. And systems built around endless growth rarely encourage stillness or reflection or contentment. But awareness changes things, because once you begin seeing systems clearly, you can begin engaging them consciously instead of unconsciously consuming and absorbing them. Today, I want you to pause and reflect. Don't ask yourself, are institutions good or bad? Ask, what incentives are shaping them? What values are being amplified around me daily? What systems are competing for my attention, my identity, my nervous system? Most importantly, how do I remain human inside systems trying to shape what it means to be human? Because transformation is no longer personal. It is civilizational. The future will belong to people capable of maintaining coherence inside increasingly immersive systems of influence. Spend a little bit of time today with your journals and explore these personal questions. What institutions have most shaped my worldview? What social sites influenced my identity at an impressionable age? What messages about success, identity, and worth have I unconsciously inherited from society? And where do I notice systems competing for my attention, my emotions, and my behavior? What does it mean for me to consciously participate in culture instead of consciously consuming it? All right, let's move into our breath work. Because daily practice is what refines our ability to remain coherent and conscious inside a system that is trying to shape that consciousness. So today, we're going to find a comfortable seat. We're going to shift our hips. We're going to roll our shoulders. We're going to take a big inhale through our nose. And let's exhale even further through our mouth. Pull your belly in as you expel all that air. Inhale. Exhale again, big. Inhale through your nose for about 6 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6. Now let's bring it to 5 seconds, 5.5. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Keep that pattern going. Now let's charge our biofield around us with positive emotion. So what we're going to do is as we breathe, keep your pattern going. In through your nose for about 5.5 seconds. Out through your mouth. And now in your mind, build a gratitude list. I'm thankful for the sunrise. I'm thankful for the day. I'm thankful for the birds chirping outside. I'm thankful for the opportunity today brings. I am thankful for my support system. Keep that gratitude going with your breath rhythm. Expand it. I'll demonstrate. So this is my personal gratitude. You build yours. I am thankful for my wife and all she brings. I am thankful for my kids and all the lessons I learned from them. I am thankful for my grandchildren and the love that I can pour into them. I am thankful for my daughter-in-laws and the power that they bring. I am thankful for my community that I've worked so hard to maintain and build. Keep expanding and growing your gratitude as we go. We're going to practice in silence for a few moments. Keep your breath going. Stay with it. Return to your breath and your gratitude if you get distracted. Let's return to the space with a big inhale through our nose, a big exhale with our mouth. One more. So that's about 6 minutes of practice. If you're wondering what I mean by let's charge our biofield, I want you to check out my latest podcast with Eileen Day McCusick. She's the author of Electric Body, Electric Health, and the Human Biofield. She's done an incredible amount of research and developed a healing practice through the human biofield. I've mentioned this a few times. Your heart is an electric organ, and it's generating wherever there's electricity flowing, wherever there's electrons moving. you've got an electromagnetic field, and your heart generates the largest electromagnetic field in your body. Radiates out about 6 feet wide, and it radiates back in. It's a torus. It's a torus shape. It's like an apple or an orange or a galaxy or pretty much anything in the universe, because that's the fundamental shape of the universe. So this torus field that is your biofield is electromagnetic in nature. And what travels through electromagnetic signal? Well, we have a lot of experience with that, with these devices, because the towers are transmitting data, a massive amount of data, images, video, all kinds of stuff through electromagnetic fields, which means information is moving through electromagnetic fields. So what is in your biofield? Emotional, coherent, trauma, information. It's all there. It's all there. So when we're doing our breath work and we are cultivating positive emotions through gratitude, we're charging that biofield. What does that do? We're not soul systems within an individual closed loop system. We are surrounded by other systems that are engaging with us constantly. So your responsibility in this practice of becoming a coherent systems designer is developing a coherent self in all ways. If this resonates with you, stay with the practice, because awareness is not paranoia. Discernment is not cynicism. And coherence may become one of the most important human capacities in the coming era. The future will not simply challenge human intelligence. It will challenge human being. Take a breath. I'll see you tomorrow.